Okay, yeah.
Okay, so are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start from the beginning. Moishele stellen sich Tränen in die Augen. Tears welled up in Moishele's eyes. Felt as hat da opgetane Narrigkeit. He feels that he's acted in a very silly manner at this time. Reb Simcha is dir nicht donker der Josemel von Vigders Huis, verwemmen latchend gute Sachen von Huis. So Reb Simcha is not donker, the orphan from Vigdor's house, for whom he pinched, or he would pinch good things from his house. Steht so und weiß nicht, was zu tun mit sich und mit dem dreieckigen, appetitlichen Stück, was halt in Händel. So he stands holding this three-cornered piece of appetizing thing in his hands, and he doesn't know which way to turn. Leg es weg zurück auf der Skoverada. Git im Reb Simcha and Eitza. So put it back on the pan. Reb Simcha advises him. Nish kosher, leg weg. It's okay. Put it down, put it away, put it back. Du hast a good heart, Moishinka. You've got a good heart, Moishinka. Hab kein Zar nicht. Don't be sad. Ich weiß, als du hast a teuer Herzala. I know that you meant well. Und gedei zu trösten ihm, singt ihm aus der Stolier a Drosche wegen guter Kavonas, welche seinen schöner und teurer wie jede beste Matone in der Welt. And in order to comfort him, the carpenter sings out a drosha about good intentions, which are more beautiful and dearer than the best gift in the world. Und sein Gesang flecht sich mit die Bewegungen von sein Heuvel. And his song is plaited in, woven in with the movements of his plane. Wörter fliehen gewickelt in weiße, schräufige Struschkes. So the words fly moving in with the white twisted wood shavings. Sie ist einer von Stoliers Lieder, was haben kein Unheib nicht und haben nicht kein Seuf. It's one of the carpenter's songs that has no beginning and it has no end. Wie a Wasserl, was plätschert wie a Regendel was trifft. It's like a brook that gurgles and like a light rain which drips.
Wonderful. Thank you, Yanke. So
What a comforting picture.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Nechama, did you get an answer to your question about the deer?
Yes.
Well, the only thing I could come up with is like he's talking to himself. It's like he says,
The
no?
way I see it,
Okay,
I wasn't there. Reb Simcha is dir nie donke der Yosem. If we translate it into English, Reb Simcha is not your. The deer is not your orphan. In English, we say he is not your orphan. He is not your balabos. He's not.
So it's like he's but it's as though he's talking to himself. He's saying, you know, Reb Simcha is not like your little Dunka friend there, the little orphan. It's like I think
I see. That Moshenke is thinking that.
He's thinking it to himself. He's saying, look, don't think this is that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay. Okay, Nechama, you want to read?
Henoch de Farbe. Harold. Brother Henoch. Harold the Colorer. Denn Moisheke hat sich schon gehabt angesättigt mit der Stoliers wunderlicher Gesangen, hat gemacht a trot weiter on schemendig mit demselben Fingerlen Mäuel und mit derselben Neigerkeit. Übergetrotten dem Schwell von Henoch de Farbe. Das zweite Haus noch Simchen und der vierte noch Kieven.
Yeah.
Get that geography again.
Getrotten.
So when I have to do the whole thing. When Moisheke had already satisfied himself with the carpenter's wonderful singing, he made a further step, shamedly, maybe bashfully, with the same finger in his mouth. Remember, he's 8 years old already, and with the same curiosity, and he stepped over the threshold of Henoch, the colorer. The painter, the painter. Yes, it's the painter, you're right. The second house after Simchas, and the fourth house after Kiva's. Wie schon früher gezählt, that's more than 100 pages back, hat Henoch gewohnt in a schlecht verlatteten Fliegel von a Churba, rechtlich von a gewirrischen Meurel. Shlomo Monesens Meurel, oi Venems Nomen, men ruft den ganze Zavaluk bis zu heintigen Tug. When, as we already told you some pages back, Henoch lived in a poorly repaired Fliegel, sort of wing of a ruin, of a churba, remains of the Gavir's house, Shlomo Monezin's house, on whose name we call the whole Zavalek until this day. But they call it Zavalek. I don't see how they call it on his name, but anyway, that's what he says.
They mentioned before, it doesn't matter.
They mentioned it before, but anyway, it's on his name.
Okay.
Noch der größte Schreifer mit der Sachjon zurück ist die ganze Familie Monezen weg von Shklov, kein Petersburg, wo hat gefühlt seine große Geschäften und gelassen sein abgebrannten Mäuer auf Hefker. So after the big fire, many years before, the whole family, Monezen, departed from Shklov to Petersburg, and the family Monazin in Petersburg, and where he carries on his big business. Und gelassen sein abgebrannten Mäuer auf Hefker, and he left his burnt down house in for nothing. Hefker, for I don't know how you Hefker, meaning nothingness.
Yeah.
Hefker. I think I know what Hefker means. Loneliness,
Ownerless.
Emptiness. Yeah.
Ownerless.
Ownerless, without organization. I always think of
without
Hefker.
supervision.
Without
Maybe.
supervision,
Okay.
Hat
yeah.
sich in der Grube reingeklebt, an Orme weiter Krav seiner, hernach hat man ihm geholfen.
Yeah,
So
Korev.
into
Yeah.
a korev, yeah. A korev, yeah. Into this ruin came his poor, distant relative. We call him, he's known as Henach. Der Fliegel, das heißt dem Zuboi von Meurel, is kimat wie geblieben ganz. The wing, this sort of annex of the house, this remained intact, almost completely intact. Hatten im Henach der Farber reingestellt neue Fenster, verlattet dem Dach mit altem Blech und von der Harube gemacht ein Eugen. So the Henach, the Farber, put in new windows. He repaired the roof with old tin, and from the furnace he made an oven. Etliche alte Maschines hat hin euch reingestellt, and some old machines, reingestellt, yeah. Some old machines he also put in. Und gemacht a solche Leben schon bald ganze 30 Jahre. And from this, he made a living, as they say in America. He made a living. That's
Yeah,
what they say in America. You make a living.
That's right.
You make a living. Yeah, that's right.
yeah. He
Hasten,
learned
hey.
it from America. Yeah.
Yeah.
He made a living
Hasten.
for 30 years.
For 30 years, right. 30
Yeah.
years he's been there. Hasten heißt viel Farbe. No, Farben farbt selten wenn. They call him Henach, the painter, but he paints very seldom. Seine Hand und Nägel seien viel stark verfleckt und verschmoddert von eingegessene brudene Kolieren. His hands and his nails are very, very heavily spattered and I don't know.
Stained.
Stained
A
and-
flake is a stain. They're stained. Okay.
They're stained, unverschmoddert. I don't know what that word means. Smeared with eingegessene, with like deeply ingrained, dirty colors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nor sein Ikel Parnasse is das nicht. But his main livelihood, his main way of earning is not this. The Ikel Parnasse seine is kratzen wohl. But his central way of earning a living is not this. His central way of earning a living is to comb or card wool. Somebody in this group knows the difference between carding and combing wool. I don't know, but there's a beautiful description of it in the story. Allein is alt, the Kratzmaschine is alt. He himself is old, and the combing machine is also old. krächzt man sich unter und man hilft einer dem Zweiten. Nicht kosher. The machines creak. The machines creak, but one helps the other, and it's not bad. In a Marktug und Weret, in a Yarid, in a market day, and not to say in a fair, kommen zu ihm on Dorf Goyim mit voller Turbis. Come to him, the village or the village Goyim, the Gentiles, with full bags, turbis. I was saying backpacks. I don't know, they didn't have backpacks, but you know, packages. Und wenn sie gehen raus, sehen die Turbis seinen die Turbis dreimal so geschwollen wie früher. And when they go out, the packs are 3 times as big as earlier. And I have to. Hat das Moschekin stark interessiert. So this was very, very interesting for Moscheke. Hat sich bisselweis genommen, Scharen zum Farbe, bis is a Ribbe getrotten, an neuem Schwell und a Schmeck getun, a neue Luft. So he slowly turned himself to the painter until he crossed over the new threshold, und a Schmeck getun, and he had a smell of a new atmosphere, a new environment. Air. Wie a junger Chayele, was zieht euch der Schnuck und tuttet sie dem Reach von an unbekannten Nora, like a little animal that puts out his, I guess, his little snout and has the smell of an unknown lair, like an animal lair.
Yeah, thank you, Nechama. Yankov, I must apologize. You read such a short passage. I just did not pay attention to the size of it. So whenever you want to read more, tell me. If you want it now, you can do it now.
No, can I let Golda read?
No, you read more, Yankov.
Okay. Is im gleich befallenen Umet von der Wildkeit und Chmurnigkeit in dem dosigen zurechtgemachten Stickkurve. So as he walked in, immediately he was overcome by the desolation and the gloominess of this repaired bit of ruin. Sumnigkeit is gewinn der erste Eindruck. Gloominess or dejection was the first impression that he got of the place. Der Räuch von der amolige Größe Streife ist noch, dacht sich, gelegen eingegessen in die Wind. The smell of the smoke of the fire, the great fire that had been at one time, it seemed, was still lying eingegessen, eaten into the walls.
30 years later. 30 years later.
Yeah. Und die schwarzen Spalten, was schlängeln sich in alle Winkeln von Sufit darauf, haben gekannt angenommen werden, verbrütene Zeichens von Leschwasser, Simonim von der alten Sklover Pożarne Kiszkę. So, and the black cracks which snaked in the corner into the corners of the ceiling, from the corners of the ceiling downwards, could have been seen as dirty signs of the water that was used to put out the fire, signs of the old Shklova fireman's hose.
You see that they call it a kishka?
Kishka.
Yes, that's the
Isn't that
kishka is
great?
the hose.
It's just great, the kishka.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't have a word for it, so they gave it a kish.
They call it a kishka. I love that. I love
Well,
it.
it is.
That's yeah.
Se kikt uit, brengt via kishka. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Und in Ort der Sumnigkeit haben sich bewegt noch mehr sumnere lebendige Schottens und Ausdruck wie vermorrte Mais in einen alten Speichler, von wannen man hat schon lang die Truhe herausgeführt. And the gloominess seemed to still move even more gloomily, like living shadows without unausdruck, without unexpressed.
Without
The-
expression, on
Well,
Oistro.
the sounds, the sounds are not expressed.
Mm-hmm,
They're there, but they're not expressed.
mm-hmm.
I think that's what he means. Like
Mhm.
emaciated mice in an old granary from which the wheat has long been removed.
He's a
Moshe,
painter.
pardon?
The way he paints it, the way he draws it, you know.
Yeah, it's a very
wonderful.
beautifully expressed.
Yes.
Moshe hat sich herumgeguckt. So Moshe looked around. Von wann ist das heuschig? Why is it so dark in here? Hat gesehen, als die oberste Teilen von die amolige große Fenster mit die keilig dicke gemäuerte Pritelkes seinen mehr wie Hälfte verhackt mit Bretter. So he noticed that the upper parts of the once large windows with the rounded built-in lintels were more than halfway closed up with planks. Upon him, כדי zu sporen schäuben und כדי winter soll sein warmer. Apparently, this was in order to save on the panes of glass of the window and to prevent winter from coming into, to keep the winter out, to keep the place warmer. Auf durchzulassen, dem Schein von Tag seien geblieben nur die unterste Scheiben und die grob gemäuerte alte Wand. So in order to allow the daylight to come into the place, the lower panes of glass in the roughly built old walls. Spart sich in sie die Sonne und kann sich nicht durchsporen, Tomer wenig.
That's the end of the sentence.
Ja, sorry. Spart sich in sie die Sonne und kann sich nicht durchsporen. So
Durchsparen.
Durchsparen.
Yeah.
The sun tries to come in, but it can't penetrate. It can't come in through the wall. Tome wenig lässt sich noch herab die Verzeitiger mit Blech verlatterter Dach, als sei niedrig, als man setzt sein javerdicken Rand durch die unterste Scheiben. So very little light comes in.
Wait, I don't understand. Tomil Vainik. Well, I don't know what that expression.
After even less.
Say again, please.
After even less.
Like
the
Maybe
way I see
even
it,
less. Tomil less.
If
Even
the
less.
the way I see
I think of it as if this isn't enough.
yeah,
I mean,
and that's if this is not enough of a,
enough
if this is not enough of a bed
of a
scene,
down.
yeah, of a ruin, of a
Yeah. Tomil Vainik. But that's an expression that Tomil Vainik.
yeah.
Ja. So los sich noch herab der Verzeitiger. The sort of the ancient with patched up with tin roof. It comes down so low that one can see the rusted edge through the lower panes of glass in the window. Via Bräuner Dashik is ongeruckt über die Augen. So like a brown visor of a cap, it's pulled over the eyes of the window. Von verlatteten Mäuerl und halt ihm a viele Sommerzeit in Schotten. So it's pulled over as if the eyes of the window of this.
Even in the summertime, in the shadows.
The verlatteten Mäuerl, this repaired building, and it holds it even in the summertime. It keeps it in shadow.
You want to finish the page, Yankee?
Okay.
Okay.
Der Fall, wenn Moschekes Neigerike eigentlich haben sich schon zugewohnt zu der kargen Lichtigkeit, hat der Sinn, als es hat ihm gräulich gelohnt zum Bekennen sich mit dem Farbes Melucha. So, for that reason, therefore, when Moshe's curious eyes already became accustomed to the dim light, he noticed that as what him greilich gelohnt, that it was greatly possible for him to bekennen sich, to meet the to encounter.
So sorry, Janke,
No.
geloint is it
Means
that it
it's-
pays for him.
It pays
Yeah,
for him.
it's not the-
It's valuable.
It,
It's valuable.
Okay,
yeah.
Useful
So-
for him.
useful
Yeah.
for him to meet the to get to know the
Right.
the painter's
know.
trade.
Correct.
Hat der Zen Maschines mit der Sach Wolzen und Wollikes und Räder, welche seinen teilweise herumgehabt mit verschmolzene breite Passen. And he noticed that there were machines with a lot of rollers and wheels, which were partially wrapped in greasy, broad stripes.
I think pasin is like bands, you know, the bands of the machine.
In bands.
Passen.
Okay.
I think it's he's describing the machine, the wheels and the bands, bands. I think
Yes,
pasin there means
They
band.
turn the wheels, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Der Podeshverdike Leder von die Dosike passen is ongepikkewit mit krumme Hobber schwecklich und mit Minne stollene spitzlich und zeinderlich. So these
These
I don't know
leather
what
bands.
Well, a podeshwe is niet a sole. A podeshwe van a sjoeg.
Okay, so these are leather
The bands.
The
I
bands,
think.
leather
are
straps,
Right.
which turn
yeah.
the wheels of the machine. Leather von die of these bands are ongepikkewit. They're pierced
Mhm.
with crooked little nails and with all kinds of steel spitzelig point needles or teeth.
Mhm.
Yeah, sharp teeth and pointed things. Es seien do größer und schittere zähnlich, mittlere und noch kleininke und gedichter, wie die kurze Haar in a Barst zu putzen Stiefel. So there are large and quite spaced quite far
Mhm.
from one another, little teeth, medium-sized ones and smaller ones, and thicker ones, like short hair, the short hair of a brush, which you use to shine boots. Kommen on die Dorfgoyim von Mark und schleppen a Reus von die Torbes, mine miese pick von Watte. So the Goyim, the village Gentiles come from the marketplace and they pull out from the sacks or the bags all kinds of ugly piles of cotton or wool, brudige gelbe Koltuns, Haar, und Kreuzen und Kreuzlich mit Streu und Blotte gemischt. So they pull out of these bags very ugly, all kinds of ugly piles of cotton or wool, dirty yellow tangled, like a dirty yellow tangled hair, and with curls, with straw in them and mixed in with mud. Hennig der Farber steht und dreht dem Hauptwalz. Und die Goyim warfen seir Koltuns zwischen die größeren Walzen von Sommerfront. So the Hennig the painter stands and he turns the main waltz is
Roller.
the roller, the big roller. And
Mhm.
the Goyim throw in their these tangled plaits of wool between the great rollers right in the front.
Thank you, Janke. My goodness, that was a lesson in translation
That,
for me.
Oh, but there's still ahead. There's not finished.
thank
It's
you.
very.
That was. Ich mach
Okay.
finish this.
Get started.
Who of us? Okay. Jedne beißen sich herein die dicke Wallikes mit sehr tausender krumme Zändlach in die geworfene Watove Sticker.
Mhm.
That's a jedne greedily. That's what I found in the
Greedily.
yeah,
Greedily.
greedily
That's-
the thick the varicose is
The rollers.
The rollers.
yeah,
the rollers.
okay, the thick rollers they
Bite.
bite with the thousands of crooked teeth in the pieces of cotton that are thrown around.
Right.
They
They
have been
flip,
thrown into the machine. Mhm.
yeah,
Remember, they're throwing it into the machine.
yeah, yeah. They flicken those ois, they flicken those of Pitzlach. They're doing this piece by piece, little pieces. Azoi farzuken they zeir roy. This is how they devour their robbery. What they rob,
Their plunder, their plunder,
Yeah, plunder.
their plunder. I mean, it's a very, there's a, there are a lot of images in this scene.
Yes,
It's
yes.
not just about, but their plunder, the word he uses, it's so strong.
Well,
Roy.
because we realize he's letting you know that the, they said in Ganavim,
Yes, I don't know.
I don't think,
yeah. What did you want to say, Nechama?
I don't think it's because they're ganovim. I think it's just because the machine has a certain energy, a certain fierceness, and it's they take it in, and it's as though they gather it in. I don't think they're ganovim. It's there. It's just very the description is very rich. I don't think that he's talking about ganovim. I think he's talking about just the way in which the machine is so energetic in its work with this dirty raw material.
Yeah.
That's the way I
And
Yeah.
farzuken
think
means
you're
to
right.
tear to shreds.
say again.
Farzuken means to tear to shreds.
Yeah.
So it's got these plaited, it's wool or cotton, and it tears
Okay.
it
Yeah.
to
I see.
shreds.
Okay.
Mhm.
Tear to shreds I found in the dictionary also, and then I also found devour, so I didn't know which one to choose. So you're
Yeah.
telling
No,
me.
but I think it's tear to shreds. I think, and it's quite a description of this machine.
Yeah. But
Yes.
then again, I think that I want to think some more when I go back home today. Why? What does he want to say by that? Maybe there's a hint to something, to a pogrom or to some. There's so much energy in this, and so much. It sounds like also cruelty with the tzene, with the teeth, and the in the robbery. I don't know. It seems to me that there's some remez, hint to something real.
So let's continue, maybe we'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Und also versuchen sie Roy und geben das über in andere stollene Meiler, and then they move it into other fixed mouths, namely other
Steel.
openings to andere Walzen, to other rollers mit kleinere und gedichtere Spitzlach. Those are with smaller and sharper, that are sharper and smaller.
Spikes.
Okay, zerkratzt und zerfedert wird das übergeworfen in noch engere Spalten. So now that it's calmed and it's zerfedert, it's from the word fodim.
Thread.
Yeah. So now that it is calmed and it is more thread-like, it is being thrown into narrower splits, right? Zwischen noch flinkere Wolke, between even faster rollers. In ein zähnlichen Behälter rein, von der zweiten zähnlichen Behälter heraus. They go in one teasy refuge. refuge, and then enter one refuge, go from one TZ refuge to another TZ, in and out. That's the process of what's going on there. Pass to pass und waltz to waltz, like bend to bend and a roller to a roller. Goes from one, that material goes from one to another. Jeder einer mit sein Takt. Each one of them with its pace. Takt. Tempo. Takt. Pace. Mit sein Geschwindigkeit und mit sein Klapperei. With his pace, with his speed, I would say speed, und mit sein Klapperei, and with its sound. Stammeldicke, pameliche, ehrliche, gehabte. That's like stuttering, slowly, slow. I guess some of them are stuttering and some of them are slow. Ehrliche is fast, gehabte, caught. Oben wird das noch gekeit und übergekeit und unten fällt schon die Psoles. Herrlach, Streuerlach, Mist. Oben above, it still is being chewed and rechewed, and underneath already the garbage, like the remains, is falling down. These are little hairs, straw, yeah, and garbage.
And garbage.
And garbage. Mist is dust.
Is dung. Dung.
Sorry, what did you say?
Dung.
It's
It's that
Junk, yeah, junk.
not junk.
dung.
D-U-N-G, dung.
I don't know this word. I need to go back to English classes with you.
No, come on, mist.
Yeah, that's
Dung
right.
is
That's,
mist.
Duty.
yeah, okay. Now,
It's like from an animal.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Ah, hab nicht gewusst.
Okay, it's
Okay. Lass auf, noch 10-15 Minuten Berschlen und Kratzen und Kaien und Kämmen gehen die gewesene Coltons Arois go voneinander seit wachsen und via Chlorerschäum wie geschlagene Eiweißlen mit Smetane, was die Mumischzerre gerät zu für a großen milchigen Tort. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Finally, after a 10-15 minutes of brushing and combing and chewing and again combing, what was the Coltons? I don't remember.
It's like the skein. It's like the big pieces, the all twisted pieces that they brought in with them.
Okay.
The
So
twisted.
then those past pieces
Mhm.
that are twisted, they come out of another side, and they grow like a clear foam,
Mhm.
like egg whites that are
Beaten.
Sour cream.
Whipped.
whipped, yeah, whipped
Whipped
like
up,
whipped cream,
whipped.
geschlagen, yeah, whipped egg whites with sour cream.
Right.
Smetana. Was the
Oh,
movie?
yum. Oh, yum.
Yeah, no, I don't want to eat it. That the Aunt Cherry prepares for a big dairy cake.
Sure.
Thought is a sponge cake, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Es wird angeschwollen. It swells up. It grows big. Es wächst on in a wunderlicher, gleichmäßiger Puchigkeit. It keeps growing in a wonderful
Regular.
yeah, okay, regular. I thought equal. No?
Well, you're thinking of gleich.
Yeah,
Gleich,
gleich
because of the gleich,
Mhm.
equal fluffiness, softness. Ah, okay. Gleichmäßige,
Gleichmäßige.
is
So
like
gleich,
I see gleichmäßige is equal because gleich is
move.
is
great,
equal.
small, and
Yeah.
mess is a most is a measure. It's the same measure. So it's like, I don't know.
It's regular.
Gleichmäßig, okay. What?
It's regular.
Regular,
Regular.
okay, whatever you say.
In our
Yeah. You are the role.
command.
Gleichmäßige Puchigkeit. In a kemat, appetitlicher Gedichter Schönkeit. In almost a foaminess that is thick and has a and is
Appetizing.
appetizing. Goldele, now it's you.
Appetitlicher.
Now it's you.
When Moshe steht auf der Gafte und guckt sich zu, and Moshe stands in wonder
Yeah.
and looks at everything. A Schaffung von voneinander means spielt, voneinander mean spielt sich da ab bei seinen neugierige Egelach.
A creation.
Yes, a
Creation.
creation of quite an under play.
A different kind.
Well,
Yeah.
remember he had the creation with the carpenter. So this is another
With-
kind
and-
of creation.
Spielt sich up, da up, and he keeps looking with his eager eyes at the whole scene that's taking place. Now, weiß nicht genau, was das ist und wie was man darf es, but he doesn't understand exactly what's happening, what's going on, and what need do they have for it. Die machine stellt sich up, the machine stops. A Herrle bleibt nicht zwischen die Wolken. Not a hair remains between the rollers. A Drabe, die stollene Tausende und Tausende krumme Zähnler glanzen nach Fischer, nach Schädner. The thousands and thousands of teeth that are in all the different machines, they're shining, and they look so clean and fresh and more beautiful. Die ungelaufene Farbe mit Weißen, the overflowing mess that there was, the Farbe mit Weißen, with white. Wolken schein wickeln die Goyim zusammen in ein großen weichen Volk. The overflowing mess with white,
With the white foam.
with the
What?
Wolkenschein, with the white foam wrapped in the together in one great big soft ball, I imagine. The Hochike Megillah, like a. Can you help me there,
Like,
Yankiv?
Yeah, I think this word volik, I found it as a net. So
Mhm.
they,
Oh, a großen weichen net. Okay.
yeah. So
I think
goyim-
that they're,
the goyim
they-
roll,
they roll it.
this whole big amount of woolly softness into the net, like a soft Megillah, a scroll, like they roll it into a
okay.
scroll.
Wie edel es Keiklen das zusammensähere grobe ausgehorvete Finger, how fine the everything together
How fine they
everything-
turn.
They roll
yes,
it.
the
They
rollers
roll
and with their fingers, everything looks so fine and so different.
Yeah, but they're always
Even though they have thick fingers.
What
Horvete,
is
they're-
Horvete?
Hard, worked out
They're
hands.
gnawed. They're
Oh,
gnawed.
Their
hands.
null fingers like mine. Und mit was besondere heuerische Miene, sie verbinden das in reinem Leibend und stülpen das zurück in die tiefe Taubes. And with and how they wrap everything in a what Payadisha is like a working Payadisha.
Well, a
Peasant,
Not a refined-
peasant-like, peasant.
Yes, not a refined way, and they bind it in clean livened
That's
And they-
cloth,
cloth,
piece of
Okay.
cloth.
and they
Calico.
push it back in the deep bags that the torbis that they carry.
Mm.
Should I read more?
Why
Mm.
not?
Finish.
Now, Faber zollen sie ab etliche Papikes und gehen weg freiliche. The Faber, the painter, pays them a few.
they
No,
pay-
they
No,
pay
they-
him.
them
They
Faber
pay him.
zollen they pay the Faber, right?
Uh-huh.
A few pennies or whatever, and they go away very happy. It Vigendicke with I imagine with happy steps.
Swinging steps. They walk back dancing like freilich.
Etwas wie sie wollten weggetragen ganze Pack mit Brache und Hoffnung auf die geduldige Places, as if they were going away with full packs, with prayers and hope for the on their backs that were ready for them.
Patient, the patient
Shoulders.
shoulders.
Yeah, but bracha with blessings, it's become a blessing.
Yes.
It's a very strong thing. Mit bracha,
Yes.
with blessing.
Hoffnung, prayers and hopes. A ticket kommen sie zu gehen, freiliche gehen sie weg. They came sadly, and they're going away happy.
You know, there's a
They say-
beautiful line. I'm sure maybe Yankov knows it from Tehillim. You know, you
Maybe
will,
I know from Tehillim.
maybe
too.
you know it also. You will
Helen.
sow in sorrow and you will reap
Of course,
in.
הזורעים בדמעה ברינה
I'm
יקצור.
sure that's a reference to that. It's the idea of you
Yeah.
come with this and you go with that. It's
They're
quite-
great. Yeah, Nechama, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Your
They
association
say
is
in
amazing.
Dachzig, Bashem Perlach, als von sehr finstere Kratze in Feld und in Stahl ist etwas geworden. They see, it appears that there's beauty from their dark work in the field and in the stalls, and look at what came of it. They were so happy. What happened? What came of all the work that they did? Die Finsternis hat sich ausgeleitet beim Jeden in der machine. The darkness disappeared.
Was purified.
Was beautified. That's almost like
By
a
the Jew.
Christian word. Beim Jeden, by the Jews in the machine. The Bacillus is herabgefallen. The what is Bacillus?
Waste.
Junk,
The
junk,
waste.
The waste
waste.
is gone. Und geblieben ist in die Taubes agorenem Material. And what remained in the bags was just clean material. Hochke und klar. Clean and clear. They are Volkendel nach a Sturm, like a cloud after a storm. Nitum sis, Hastus, hat man a solche Horrorwit in Dov. And not without, not without.
not for nothing.
Not for nothing.
nothing.
Not for
Not for
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Not for nothing, Hastus, it's
Hmm.
called, that they all worked so hard in the village.
Yeah,
Hat man geholfen
thank you.
in Dov.
Gehoreven. Und mir horeven, lehnen das.
No,
Yeah.
There are some sections that are harder, some that are
Yes,
easier.
but this was a beautiful section.
It is. It's a beautiful, the imagery of them.
Yes, because out of nothing, they got something.
Yeah.